Hey, good
Hey,
evening.
I'm back, baby.
You're back from sunny Florida and all quickly, you left just in time. There was a little shooting down there after you left.
Yeah.
Or what?
Actually, Saturday, I think it was Saturday when we were in that Saturday night, we stayed in Tampa and left Sunday morning. And that night, yeah, I think some gangsters come out of some bars down there and disrespecting me. And 17, 18 of them got shot and two other ones got killed. So yeah, we got the hell out of there in time.
Well, I guess what the heck, right? God dang.
Yeah. Other than
Uh,
that, Tampa was cool. Clearwater was really, a really awesome place. Florida's got some great weather. It was fun down there. Big thanks to my buddy Brad and his fiance Carly for having my wife and I down there and treating us like royalty. It was pretty awesome.
I saw the pics. I saw the picture from the Learjet. That had been pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I got a
It
question. I've
was
always been
cool.
under the impression you didn't have to go through all that BS with the private jet, did you? You just hopped on and went.
Nope. We got on Executive Air here in
Yep.
Bismarck and got in there, and we stopped in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and refueled, and from there landed in Clearwater. It was
Isn't that something? Yeah.
yeah. It was awesome, man. It's
Well, I'll
it's
tell you
quite
what.
the experience.
Let's quickly get this started like we always do, and that's
Yeah.
of course with the Second Amendment. The well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And a lot of people ask me like, why do you start the show like that?
hmm
I go,
hmm
well, we kind of started that when we was up there on 1270, and we are a gun show, and we talk
Yeah.
about the Second Amendment. And to me,
Absolutely.
why wouldn't you? I guess to me the question would be, why don't others? I hear them doing a little bit of stuff, on K Fire, and maybe we should start doing that with our own deal with Todd every morning, because I know the other guys aren't doing it when they're talking about guns.
hmm Yeah, it's not a bad
I'm not. I'm
idea,
not.
Clay.
I'm not sure the other guys even know it memorized like we do. So anyway, a little bit of poke and jab, right?
Oh, I don't think he's directing that towards Scotty.
No, Scott's a patriot. I'm not worried at all about Scott.
Yeah, I
Scott's
like
with
hearing
us.
this. I like hearing the Second Amendment. It's great,
And
man.
I'm going to throw it out to Scott. I know you and I talked about it, and we'll get on that little group text. I think we need to go up there and do a group coyote hunt. I think it'd be a hell of
Yeah.
a lot of
Oh,
fun, and
heck yeah.
we're going to get
Love
it
it.
done. So I know I'd kind of thrown that out to him here a while back, and he seemed like that sounded like a great idea. We got snow on the ground now, but we got to get through a few things in November, and deer season being one of them. I think December would be a great time to go up there. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'd be in for that for sure. As you seen right before I left for Florida, I got lucky on a yacht there at
I've seen that.
560 and
Perfect.
got one there. There's definitely some luck involved, but I'll take it either way, Clay.
You got to take it, right? You got to take
Yeah.
it. So, and
Yeah.
we are live on YouTube again. CommieTube is our deal expired. They never did answer me on the appeal. We're back on there,
Mhm.
so still have to, I suppose, tiptoe a little bit. I
Oh,
tried my
thank you,
Rumble.
YouTube.
What's that?
Oh, thank you, YouTube. You're so
Yeah,
kind.
commie son. Anyway, yeah, I did try a Rumble. I did a test of it here last week, and it worked. And I just checked it now; it's not working. So I don't know. You'd think us conservatives on our side could come up
Mhm.
with a platform easier to use, but
I mean, Elon Musk is like the only conservative who's a good techie, I guess, right?
I guess
I'd seen today he was on Joe Rogan's show. He said he wants to brawl Zuckerberg. He said Zuckerberg chickened out. He still wants to brawl him, and he said the up for grabs would be him taking over running and Facebook and vice versa for X. So I'm like, yeah, do that, man. 'Cause if we actually had a real open-minded person, a true open-minded person running Facebook, it would be a lot better. I
It
mean,
would
they're
be.
in my opinion, they're better than Facebook. No, not a lot, but we still don't get run for stuff on there that we do on YouTube. So
Boy, that'd be interesting,
yeah,
wouldn't
that'd be great. And Musk isn't scared at all. He's like, Rogan asked me, how do you got to train? He goes, I don't have to train. He goes, I'll do it tomorrow. Let's do it.
it?
Said I
Good
went
for
over to his
him.
house. He got mad. He said I went over to his house and knocked on his door and nobody answered.
Oh wow! Oh
Guys
wow!
ready
So
to,
he's
yeah.
throwing the gauntlet down. Well, we'll
Yeah.
see what happens.
Do it, Zuck. Put up the management of your platform there. Let's do it, man. Let's get some real freedom
Oh my
behind
goodness,
that
that'd be
thing. That'd be
funny.
great, man.
So I'm gonna quickly go through. Hey, Doug, good to have you on tonight. He says, "Evening, Second Amendment warriors." Eric Newman. He decided he's gonna make a little apple pie. He says, deciding where I should keep my snakes for the winter. I see he was messing around with another one. Hey, Brian, good to see you, fellow MVE.
Yeah.
Good to have you on. Josh Patterson. Hey, what's up, buddy? Lynette K. Of course, we know who that is. Thank you to the Lauer Auto crew down there. We can't do it without them each and every week. Waylon Turnus. Vance Bishop. He says, yeah, you were close to the Rax Hog Camp. And you were. Clearwater ain't too far from where we're at. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. It's nice country down there. Man, I've seen a couple gun shops. I never did get to go to them, but seen a lot of NRA and pro Second Amendment shirts down there. And
oh yeah.
You know.
What? You mean the NRA?
Yeah.
Didn't you hear they're anti-gun?
Yeah. That's what I heard.
Oh my God.
That's what I heard by somebody.
Yeah, in fact, I heard it on a local station, but it's kind of crazy. Yes, we're jabbing a few people, so that's okay.
Oh, it's not going to stop either when you say something that ridiculous.
All right, so like Todd said last week, the big elephant in the room, and like I told him, I said I don't have enough information. I don't know what's factual. I don't know what's true, and that's the main shooting. Of course, I don't know. Maybe I've been hearing how it's kind of went and dropped out of the actual news cycle. I don't watch a lot of mainstream news. I do watch Real America's Voice, seen a little bit on it, but not a whole lot. It seems like it has fallen out of that cycle.
We didn't say, yeah, Clay, you did say that when I was actually down in Clearwater. You said that on Friday's show under KFYR there, and now we're overloaded with it. So we're going to do, it's probably going to take up, 30 minutes of the show here at least. And then we're going to hit our 2A bullet points, Clay's Comedy Company, and my happy ending. So I'll start out with this, Clay. They're in a Saturday morning press conference. Maine Commissioner of Public Safety, Mike Souschuk, which is in a few articles here that I'm going to reference tonight, indicated that Robert Card's body was found in a semi-trailer on a recycling company's property. And this too here, Card had recently been fired from the recycling company, which was news to me.
I'd heard that one,
did you?
But I wasn't sure if it was true.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead. There's so much crap out there that ain't
maybe
true.
I wonder if the guy who owned the company was at the bar in a bowling alley. Anyway, Souschuk explained that the trailers at the recycling company were full of metal and that law enforcement believed they had searched and cleared all the trailers early on. However, on Friday, the owner of I guess he didn't kill him. Owner of the recycling company contacted law enforcement to say more trailers were on the company's adjoining property. And when Maine police cleared those trailers, Card's body was discovered.
Wow.
So, if you're one of these guys like Robert Card, go ahead and do that first before you go and murder a bunch of people.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah. And then there was reports about both the facilities were, no gun facilities. Here's what I got from a person out there in that area. Basically told me, I actually called a guy that I still know from that area, and he said it was only one of them, but he didn't know which one. As far as that had an actual sign up. So is that, what's right there? I don't know. But obviously one did, if not both. And I was listening to Armed American Radio, and you probably been listening to them as well.
Yeah, I have. Good show. Mark Walters.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if you saw the one where they were talking about what was wrong. I mean, even the guys that do have carry permits, or, which is very hard to get in Maine, why didn't they do something if they were in there? And nobody knows if there weren't. There was supposedly a guy not too far away, a block or so, and he didn't do nothing. He was told to shelter in place. Why? Well, go out there and just, take care of business, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't stand by. If I was sitting in a situation and I see this erupt, you know what I'm going to do. And I'm always carrying. Generally, it's, for self-protection, but yeah.
You'd think, Clay, even, it's kind of a rural part of this Lewistown, but wouldn't somebody have one in their vehicle? And some people had to run out of there. He didn't get everybody in there. Somebody had to have something in their car. And, you'd think you'd go back in there. You'd have to when people were getting murdered in there. You'd have to go back in there and give it a try, not? I would. I would. I got stuff in my car. I'll pick up at all times. So
I got a few things in my vehicle.
Somebody be like, well, what about you just got a handgun, JD? Huh? Hey, we saw people take out guys with ARs with handguns numerous times over last summer.
And I've seen you shoot your handgun. I would feel very confident having you behind your 9mm.
Thank you.
You know, Dan Brown, if Dan's listening, like I see he was logged in. Dan's very proficient.
Yeah.
And I would have no issues having those guys, either of you guys out there. And I'd probably be behind you because I know you guys are more proficient than I am. And I'd be backup because I guarantee
I always
you,
need that, man, for sure.
I mean, I don't do bad, but you guys are both better than I am, and that's okay. I mean, it just means I got to practice more. But now put me on a
Which is
rifle,
fun, right?
and from distance, I could have some fun with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Love it.
Like Keith O'Donnell chimes in. He says, most people are cowards and run away from fire instead of running into it. Yeah. There's a lot of truth to that. And we've had that discussion just in general about, if things fell apart in this country, what do you think would happen? And you and I both are in agreement. So is Marty, and the circle we run, we're pretty confident that we're the minority of that group, and that there'd be a lot of them would flee.
Yeah. I mean, if I don't have a gun, I'm going to run then. I'm going to go try and find something. But like the one guy we talked about Friday on Todd Show, he had his knife, and hey, a lot of people are saying heroic, Clay, somebody might get mad about it. He sacrificed himself for nothing because he had a knife. You had a knife running into a 30 caliber rifle, which I'm going to talk about a little later here, what they're calling this thing. But
I mean, what the old
you got no chance, dude. You're better off chucking it at him than you are charging him with a knife. Absolutely. What are you're gonna charge a gun when you don't have nothing? I mean, come on.
Well, it's like I said, the old adage of don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, Obama even said that one, right?
Yeah. No,
they bring a knife, we bring a gun.
Yep. Hey. It's the truth. It really is.
Yeah. So, a lot of people are saying too, Clay, he was in a mental institution. Well, guess what? He committed himself. If you're in, what is it, involuntary committed or something is what they call it.
That's what they were reporting.
That doesn't, if you do that and they don't keep you there, the doctors let him go out of this mental institution. He put himself in. So they're saying that's why he didn't come up on his background check, right? But something that came up here, I just read today. It was a new deal here. He apparently tried to buy a suppressor like 3 months before this, Clay.
Okay.
But he was denied. You know why he was denied? Because he admitted on there that he had been adjudicated mentally defective. So they didn't.
Wow.
So how did that happen? And how did he buy did he buy these other guns before? So this is a new thing that just kind of popped up here.
And I've got something in an article that they talked about that. And we'll get into that after you finish up, but I'll definitely bring that up.
So also, apparently his family had contacted the Sega. They got weird names out there. Yeah, Doha County Sheriff, and said the family believed Card's mentality had begun to break down in January of 2023, and they were worried about him, and specifically noting that he had all this access to guns. And his ex-wife, who went into hiding when she heard about this right away, obviously.
Yeah.
She apparently at some point had informed law enforcement that Card had recently picked up a number of guns from his brother's house. And his Card's son, he told people that his dad was hearing voices.
Yeah.
And it's a yellow, it's not a red flag state, it's a yellow flag state, which means the police can what do you call it when you go to the judge, Clay, and get an order?
Yeah, they can go and get a protection order, basically.
Well, to get a warrant, get a warrant to go take his guns, and they knew about this, and they never tried anything. So, yellow flag, red flag, their little fantasy of that working, it doesn't work. And then of course, like I just said, he tried to buy a suppressor, and then they denied him on that, but he bought these guns. So I don't know if somebody messed up here, which is quite possible on the Neeks deal, but again, one of these guys slips through the cracks with all these warning signs, right?
Yeah, well, and I'll answer a little bit of that. So this come out of a report off of AmmoLand, and from basically it's a guy that we always Higgins, I believe, wrote this one.
Okay.
But anyway, so he kind of, I don't know where he dug this up, but he said he talked about how they're talking that he just bought that gun and how this happened. And no, it sounds like he bought the firearms, the two that were found at the basically where he was found. They were bought in June. So, and what he did was he dug this up because you had old Newsom and some of these other idiots out there, trying to essentially capitalize on a horrible, horrible event and raise money. I mean, think about it. Democrats were out there trying to capitalize, raising money. Republicans ain't much better on certain things, but on a tragedy, making it sound like, oh, we feel so much. Please send us money, though, because we're going to ban guns. Anyway, they were saying that a 72-hour waiting period, which was a bill that was going through the main legislature, which was defeated, would have solved this. And he goes, no, he said it wouldn't have affected at all. When he wrote the article, he found that those particular guns had been purchased in June.
So he bought them in June, Clay, and he tried to buy the suppressor 3 months ago. So he bought the guns, and then he was denied afterwards. What, 2 months later, July, August.
Maybe that's when I don't remember when he got put into the institution. Maybe when he bought the guns, and it was later, he was hospitalized, I guess they call it. Thing is generally when you're hospitalized for mental disorders like that, what's the first thing they do?
Regardless, but that's the difference. Yeah, I got another one here. He's the guy is this public service guy was saying you can volunteer for treatment for months on end, but if you're not forcibly committed to seek that treatment and it's not very specific, then it doesn't qualify you as, like I said, as being involuntary committed, and you can pass a NEEX check if you do that.
And I even heard report, like I said, I still sometimes don't know. Well, I don't know what's factual and what's not. I heard there was 2 gunshot wounds to him. Really? So a guy killed himself and shot himself twice?
Oh, that hurts. I need to do it again.
I mean, did he miss? Whether that's true or not, and I've heard nothing since. And they were reporting that. I heard that on television. I'd flipped over to Newsmax, and that's one of the things they'd said. And I was like, you guys just heard yourself what you said? I mean, what'd you do? Even if I'll shoot myself in the legs, I'll give myself a little pain first and then off myself. I didn't. To me, that made zero sense. But now I'm seeing the new reports are self-inflicted gunshot wound. That makes sense. But and then of course 308. Oh my gosh, I've heard everything from it's a high caliber, it's a really powerful rifle, and it's used in hunting applications. Okay, so the person that was saying this said, "Oh, I'm all for hunting," but yet demonized a hunting round. So are you gonna get rid of the hunting
one
round?
of the most popular hunting rounds in America? Still, I know the Creed's taking it over, but the 308 still real popular.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not even sure. They say it. I've heard
they kept calling it a sniper rifle. Clay,
they call it a Ruger SFAR. This is what CNN put out there. I can't find anybody else who reported that. So I have no clue what actually. All I know is it's a semi-auto, from what I understand. And
Fox News was reporting it. The gun was used. Of course, they said sniper rifle. It was legally purchased, chambered in 308. The 308 is an extremely popular hunting round used for large game. By contrast, an AR-15 uses a 5.56. Well, most of them do, or 223, both of which are much smaller than the 308. Here in the New York Post likewise noted that police indicated shooting suspect Robert Card legally purchased here it goes again, a sniper rifle with 308 bullets. The weapon is believed to have been used in the attack. So I mean, did they just hear or watch some movie where a 308 was used? Because the 308, I mean, it is used as a sniper round too.
It is, yes.
I mean, they did that now, and heard that, it was a sniper rifle. It was a sniper rifle. It's 308.
I know. Well, and I know Keith can join in on this. Keith O'Donnell's listening. He knows all about snipers and sniper rifles. But I know people that have used a 300 Win Mag, the 330
Chris Kyle did.
The 50 BMG, a 308. Let's just face it. If I'm shooting at distance with precise accuracy, I'm pretty sure that's a sniper rifle. Doesn't matter what caliber it is.
Yeah. I mean, you get a long 223 out to, 400 yards would be, depending on where you place the shot. That's a A sniping rifle to me is, it's a long barrel that's very accurate, which is the same with a hunting rifle. So what's the difference? I mean,
I don't know. So, guys, if you don't know what a Ruger SFAR is, essentially, guys, I'm going to show it to everybody.
SF
There it
stands for
is.
small frame. It's a
Frame
new
rifle.
Ruger's new design. They made a 308 because if you know 308 ARs, the old ones, big heavy tanks, big larger frame than a regular AR. They made this the same size as like your regular AR that's chambered in like the 223 and whatnot, small frame. That's what SF is, small frame AR.
Exactly, and basically, and it shoots a 308.
Yep.
And there's a picture of it. It's on their website. I brought it up here for everybody to see.
And Clay, correct me if I'm wrong. If you've seen some pictures of, they're saying sniper rifle. It looks to me like he's got a red dot optic on there of some sort, right?
That's what the stuff I seen. Yes,
and a light.
That's what I would say. So
yeah. I mean, if you think you're sniping with a red dot, maybe.
Some people can shoot long ways and get lucky with nothing, but
yeah, you didn't need it. I'd like to know what kind of ammo he used too.
I would too. The full metal jackets, which we're going to talk about ammo and deer rifles there in a little bit, ain't we? A little bit, yeah. But Josie Milbrandt, hey Josie, good to have you on. He says, sniper hunt with my hunting rifle.
Right.
You know what he does? He sent us some videos, and we wanted to use some of them, Josie, but the clarity didn't come through when you sent them.
Yeah,
so
otherwise for sure we would have.
Maybe sometime what we need to do is have him put them on either a drive or an SD card and drop them off with you, and then I can tell you how to upload them to our system.
So yeah, exactly. Yeah, Josie, if you get some videos hunting season this year, by all means, if they're clear, I guarantee you we'll use them. You get some good stuff there, man, and some nice shooting too.
Absolutely. So,
Clay, sniper rifles. So let's kind of stay on this a little bit. World War I. Could you remind me what their sniper rifles were back then?
Oh my goodness, that was just that horrible,
evil looking, right?
Evil looking rifle that shot a single shot Springfield.
Top loader, right? Was it
I believe it was actually. Yeah, I think it took an actual. I think it took an actual clip.
Actual clip, yeah, right. An actual clip fed top. What was a stock? Must have been synthetic, like evil looking, right? What was that?
That was that evil looking hardwood stock. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what it was. And Carlos Hathcock, Vietnam, you know what Carlos had? Clay actually put it on a shirt for my dad.
So we put it on a shirt for you.
Yeah. It was a Remington. I think it was a Remington, right?
It was a Remington.
Model 6 or something. Model 6, 308. I don't think it wasn't a heavy, it wasn't a bull barrel. It was a heavy barrel.
It was like 100.
Yeah, it had a Redfield. That's what he said himself. It was a Redfield, like 3x9x40 on there. What any FUD or any Democrat would tell you, that's a hunting rifle right there.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it when I was doing the research trying to find what you were talking about. Like, my goodness, this is a standard rifle that you could take out and use anywhere or find anywhere. Heck, there's probably people still shooting them.
Yeah. So I mean, the bullet coming out doesn't care what the stock looks like or what the gun looks like. It's the same. It's the same round. Well, Clayton, I'll tell you what, we're at 7:25. Should we run our first commercial here?
Let's pay a few bills here, and then we will come back and continue this discussion a little bit, and then we'll get a few of your comments in, guys.
Right on.
Lauer Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Again, and I can't thank our sponsors enough. Lauer Auto Repair, Axe and the boys down there. Get your deer hunting rig. You got a week. You got about a week. You want a week and a half. Get that baby tuned up and get ready because you're going to need it.
It's like Christmas for me, man.
Oh, yeah. It's your Super Bowl. That's right.
It's my Christmas. I love Christmas, too. Don't get me wrong. But it's almost on par with that for me. It's my Super Bowl. I love it. I got a buck tag. Whether I get one or not is I'm not saying it's irrelevant because trust me, I want one bad. But I love the whole atmosphere around deer season, and in particular when I have a buck tag. So
Well, I can tell you this: I can't get up there the first week. You and I had talked about that, but possibly the second week, I'd love to come up. I don't have a tag up there, of course, but come up. I'll bring the camera.
what does that matter?
It doesn't. You know what? I'll get an archery tag. I think
There you go. Hey, yeah, get anywhere you want. It doesn't even just go get it, man. It doesn't matter.
And maybe I'll get a hold of Dixie and get my doctor's deal so I can use my crossbow because my shoulder sucks.
Be like Rodney Dangerfield. My arm.
Wow, no respect. Anyway, so I'm going to get to a few of these comments.
Go ahead,
quick.
Clayton, go ahead.
So we had one that came in, so I'm going to plug that right away. You got the NRA banquet coming up here this coming weekend. Dakota Rough Rider Friends of NRA annual fundraising November 3rd, $45 for tickets. And that's taking place, I believe, at the Baymont Inn. You have the Baymont Inn and Suites up there in Old Rail. It's the old Seven Seas, guys. Yeah. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. Central Time and dinner at 7 o'clock. So go up there, have fun. It's like all the other banquets. I know that Jeff Mostelski and his wife is Sean, who's my sister-in-law. They do a great job up there with that. A lot of different packages left. And I encourage you because there's not a whole lot of them in North or South Dakota anymore. So go ahead and go support a great organization that really gets out there and supports all aspects of shooting sports.
And your Second Amendment rights, Clay.
Well, and that's
training
exactly.
people.
Training people's big. There it is.
And I'm going to miss that one. I actually had a free ticket, but again, like I said, my Super Bowl's coming up. It snowed a lot more at the farm, so I'm going up there. Friday, I'm going to move some snow. I'm going to scout some deer. Friday night, I'm going to scout some deer. Saturday, I'm going to get stuff ready because when I roll up there next Friday after we do Mitchell's show, I'm getting the mule out of the shop. We're putting the guns in and the food, and we're heading to the hunting shack with the glass, and we're getting after it.
Oh, hey, Dan, good. That's great. I said I wish I could be up there. I'm not going to be able to go this weekend either. We're butchering. We butchered already.
Okay, so there you go. Yeah.
We're going to cut.
Yeah, go ahead with
we
Dan.
Were wrong. It wasn't I thought it was a Remington. Dan Brown chiming says Hathcock shot a Winchester Model 70 in a 30-06.
Oh, combat round.
Combat round, absolutely. Springfield 30-06. I'm telling you. It was, how many Krauts did it take out in World War I?
Mm-hmm. And two, for that matter, Clay.
World War II as well. And two, absolutely. So, Dan, thank you and correcting us there.
Thanks for the info,
honestly, I thought it was the Remington, but I couldn't remember. We did that a long time ago, and I know we talked about we should have maybe had him on as a
you know what? I'm pretty sure there's Hathcock and another guy that was in Nam was a big sniper guy too. I'm almost sure one of them guys had because the Marines. I think the Marines used. Did the Marines use a Remington and the Army used the one of? I think they used different sniper. I mean, maybe I'm confusing myself here, but I could have swore one was a Remington. But Dan knows more than me about stuff like that. But we
need Gene. Where's Gene tonight? Gene is like the encyclopedia. And by the way, we talked about this. I'm going to talk to Gene here after maybe in a couple weeks. Things settle down. I want to have Gene on. Gene Cox, guys. He's out down there in Mobridge. A wealth of information, especially when it comes to historical firearms. There's no doubt about it. He loves them old military, and that's what he does. He likes the military shoots, shooting steel at all these targets, and has a great time doing it. So we're going to try and get him on as a guest. I think that'd be a very good show, and he's definitely going to have more answers than Jamie or I when it comes to those firearms.
Yeah.
Trampus Brenner says we're going to be in Fargo the second weekend. That's right, we are. I won't be there the second weekend either. I forgot.
Oh, let's just get that coyote hunt lined up then, Clayton.
That's the Farm Bureau state convention. I forgot about that, Trappist, but it has popped up on my calendar. We'll get up there, and nothing else. We'll go over to Scott, and the coyote hunt will be fun. So,
yeah, we tried that before. I mean, I think we only got maybe I got a running shot at one. I think that was about it. But
hey, DJ Doug Thompson, he says Hills deer season started today. So me and Cooper have whitetail take. All right, if you get something nice, send us a picture. I don't know. I hunted the hills for years and years and years when I was a South Dakota resident. Then, the mountain lions moved in and really took the populations down. Then disease come in. So they used to be able to buy a tag over the counter in the hills. There were so many deer. Mm-hmm. Big deer in the hills is probably the minimum here. Or that's what it was when I was hunting in the end down there. So hopefully you guys find a big one. I don't know if there's many big ones left in the hills. I suppose somewhere there is, but that whole aspect has changed a lot down there since I've been hunting down there. But Josie Milbrandt, he says there's nothing wrong with a 30-06. Good round. There's
Right. Oh, I agree.
I think the popularity of the 30-06 was because so many guys returned home. And what did they shoot in the war? 30-06 Springfield.
Right. And there were so many of them that the military got, wanted to get rid of, and then they sold them to the general population, and they turned them, what they call, sporterized them. So
they did, yeah. And so it was a familiar round. I mean, there's definitely, it's not a flat shooting round. You got to know how to shoot it, but it is a good round. There's a lot of knockdown power there. Eric Newman says there's some stud deer in the hills. There is. I know there is, Eric, but and I haven't been down there for years, but I can tell you for a while there, a big buck down there was not exactly big compared to up here. But like I said, I haven't been down there for years. Maybe they finally got some nice deer, really nice deer down there again. So that'd be great.
The M40, this is the one I'm thinking of here, Clay. Remington was called the M40, and this thing was used in Vietnam, Grenada, Gulf War, Afghanistan, and Iraq, and that was a 308 because they got like the camo. You can buy like the M40 stock.
Right.
So, I mean, I wasn't completely wrong. They did use the Remington. It was a 308 76 model. Yeah, right here. Early M40 is built from a Remington model 700 bolt action and is modified by USMC Armors, Quantico. And I'm not going to read the whole article here, but yeah, Dan was definitely right. But I'm going to take a little credit. I was right about a little bit of this.
It's okay. It's okay. Hey, this is what we get. Great information here.
Yeah, I love it, man. By no means do I think I'm right all the time, and I'm certainly not. Which is,
and I was just gonna say, and I know everyone's been waiting for this. I'm not always right. Believe it or not, anyway.
Clay, let's talk about some people here who really think they're right. Speaking of the gun grabbers, our president, the vice president, and a few others here. Unless you got something you were going to add to what we.
Well, I was going to go down that line, so I'll add it in. Go ahead, and then I'll add in what I was going to talk about there because that kind of falls in line.
Yeah. So the meat puppet we have as a president, he of course he came out right after.
Where's the ice cream? I need some ice cream.
Yeah, he loves eating his ice cream, man. My Corvette almost burned up. I know what you're going through. So Biden is asking, who the hell needs a high-capacity assault weapon, right? He asked this question at some deal here. I don't know. He was at some banquet probably trying to raise money for some other meat puppet. And, yeah, who the hell needs an assault weapon that can hold in some cases up to 100 rounds? I got a bolt-action rifle that can hold a 100-round magazine, so.
Yeah.
Which we know he want to ban that too. They want to ban them all. Oh, yeah. But he goes on here with a few things. Once again, I call on Republicans in Congress to fulfill their obligation to keep American people safe, Biden said, after the suspected gunman was found. Until that day comes, I will continue to do everything in my power to end this gun violence epidemic. Okay. And he said it again here, I think a day or two later. I urge Republicans in Congress to work with us to pass a bill banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, to enact universal background checks, and to require safe storage of guns and end immunity and liability for gun control manufacturers. Okay, Clay, he's going to ban assault weapons. We did that already. That was proven. That did not reduce crime by leftist DOJ even had to admit that fact, right?
Had that for 10 years. It made no difference. And when it expired, it did not become the Wild West as predicted by the leftist commies.
Right. And we were actually going to look at that. It was a Wild West, really that wild, right? We were going to check that out.
Yeah.
So let's go on. This guy killed 18 people, right? And wounded how many? 13, was it?
It's varying, but yeah, that's my report says 13.
Okay. So. With what they want to ban, and we said already he passed a background check. Biden wants to do that, right? Yep. He passed that. He passed those, and
so he cleared NICS.
Yep.
He was not prevented. He bought the firearms legally. So yeah, all right.
Yep, and immunity for liability from gun manufacturers, which is a complete joke. The reality of it is, gun manufacturers aren't shielded from liability. They're protected from stupid lawsuits over the criminal use of their guns that are legal.
What they're talking about, guys, is the protection of lawful commerce.
But they lie about it constantly.
Oh, they do. They make it sound like, oh, gun manufacturers can't be sued for anything. Well, that's not true. They just can't be sued for stupid things like negligence for
You used our
improper
gun to
use
kill
of their.
somebody. We need $2 million.
Yeah. If they produce a bad product and it blows up or it causes injury due to that, yes, they can be still sued.
Yeah.
The only
That-
thing that act did was protect them from frivolous lawsuits to try and bankrupt them. That's
Mhm.
basically what that did.
So I'm going to expand on something here, Clay, real quick. So
Yes.
they're talking about high capacity magazines, right? And of course, Kamala and Chris Harris were screaming. And there's a new thing coming out here that I'll get to. But okay, the reason I ask you the total he killed, right? 17, and he.
I've got
50.
18 dead now. This was a new article.
Okay, because Todd said Friday somewhere. Okay, so let me take you
18 dead,
back here.
13 injured.
Let me take you back here, Clay, to a few things. April 16th, 2007, Virginia Tech, 32 people killed. This is all, he did this all in 15 minutes.
Yep.
32 killed, 17 wounded, 2 handguns, 9mm, which Biden said already he
Lung
wants
blower.
to ban those 2, lung blowers,
Lung
and a
blowers.
22. And Clayton, guess what? What do you think the magazine capacity of them 2 handguns were?
Maybe, well, depending on what they were, there may be 7 or 8 double stacked.
10 round. Both
10,
handguns
okay.
had 10 rounds, so they always only go down to 10 rounds. 10 rounds is all you
10
need.
rounds.
So Virginia Tech, he had 10 rounds. He killed 32. I mean, almost double of
With a
what the
10
guy
round.
did with 10 round magazines, and he wounded more than this guy did in Maine. Parkland High School, Clayton. Guess what, that was an AR, but guess what the capacity of his magazines were?
Well, those were 10s.
Yep.
Weren't they?
10
Yeah, if
round
I remember right,
magazines.
those were 10s. And if I
10 round
remember right, he had them
magazines.
so he could just pop them out, flip them up. Like,
And 17 killed, 17 wounded. So I promise you, if we go down to 10 round magazines, the same thing's going to happen. And it doesn't matter if it's with a rifle, which in fact, Joe, I said, he killed way more people than the
Right.
Parkland scumbag and this low-life scumbag in Maine did with 2 hands. That it doesn't stop anything, but yet they're
No.
going to tell you it does. And when it doesn't, that's going to be in their crosshairs again.
And like I said, I've said this how many times. It doesn't matter what we. First of all, never compromise with the enemy. Okay, and they are the enemy. The Democrat Communist Party
Yep.
is our enemy.
Yep.
Of compromising because it'll never be enough. You never compromise your rights. The Second Amendment, the 27 words are a right. Never compromise that. So it doesn't matter what we do, they will want more. And we've proven that. We've talked about that so many times. Oh, well, we did this, and then now they want this. This is they talk about the baby steps. It's no different than on our side. What did we do to try and get constitutional carry in North Dakota? Small increment steps. We got concealed carries. We got reciprocity. Did the same thing in South Dakota. NRA did that. Oh, that anti-gun group by by a certain person thought that they were supporting gun control. No, they weren't, because they were. I remember him making a comment to me personally, talking about how concealed carry licenses was anti-gun. I go, well, I don't like it any better than you. I don't think I should have to have a right, and then the state sells me my right back to me. But it was the incremental step that we were able to get through the legislature because of the communists in there.
With the help of what gun rights organization was that, Clay, again?
That would be the National Rifle Association.
Okay, thank you.
Got that passed in there. And now what do we have? We have stand your ground. It's not perfect. We'll get it perfect. Incremental step, baby step. They do the same thing on the other side. That's how this process works, wrong or right. That's the world we're in. But I can tell you right now, if you compromise on the Second Amendment and give in to these commie sons of bitches, they will not stop. They'll come for more.
And the reason we did have an assault weapons ban and a magazine capacity ban, the reason that went away, Clay, was why?
The NRA and
No.
I had to, no, that crazy guy. Guys, the assault weapons ban could have been way worse. It could have been. It could
And
have
it
been
would have been permanent.
and it would have taken every semi-automatic. I'm not kidding. The original version of that particular in 1994. Well, was it 94? Yeah, right before 94 in the election, because that's when the Republicans took back the House after it, when it passed. We could not stop it. Democrats own the House, they own the Senate, and they had the White House. They were going to pass anything they wanted, and they were. And that original bill included 1022s, included semi-automatic shotguns, not your assault ones.
Mhm.
No, it was your typical hunting rifles. I mean, your Benellis, your Winchesters, your Remington, any semi-auto was on that list pretty much,
Like they did in
especially
Australia.
handguns. Just it really was reminiscent of what they did in Australia.
Mhm.
10-round mags, that would have been it. Everything else, there would have been no grandfathering. You'd had to turn them in.
Yeah, but Clay, what if somebody stood up and said, "Screw you guys"? I'm just saying, no, you can kiss my ass. Then what? Would
Well,
it have
they'd
passed
come-
then?
Yeah, it would have still passed.
Oh,
Yeah. And that's just it. So without the NRA intervening, and I can tell you it about split the NRA because Marion Hammer was the president of the NRA at the time. But she was actually correct on this. They litigated it down because of the NRA, and only the NRA was the only group that was advocating for this, a sunset clause. And it passed. They got the sunset clause. And I can tell you right now, yes, it absolutely, the NRA and it took off most of the hunting rifles and went strictly for ARs and your AK, your typical Democrat assault weapon definition. Went to the 10-round mags. You had to get rid of the folding stocks. I mean, it was all the little things.
Mhm.
And NRA said, okay, they're going to put these things in here, these exceptions, but the sunset clause was a no compromise. It had to be in there. And then they allowed the Republican and Democrat, by the way, NRA basically backed congressmen to vote for it, and it passed. And we had it. It sucked, but I'm telling you, what they were going to pass, and they'd had no.
It was
issue
going
passing
through,
it.
man.
It was going
Just like the
through.
Gun Control Act went through with the Democrat
Absolutely.
majority, and this NFA went through. It was
Yep.
not getting stopped.
And the difference in those two acts was, guess what didn't exist back then? The NRA ILA.
Yep.
Okay, the NRA formed itself on basically because our northern generals saw how inefficient and inaccurate that the troops were in the Civil War. They said we got to have some kind of marksmanship in this country, and the NRA was born. That's what it was born out of. And of course, then the 1934 National Firearms Act passed, and they did get a little bit involved. But guys, the NRA never got politically active hard until 1975.
Yep.
They didn't.
I mean, there was floods in there way back when, and guess what? The people that
Absolutely.
were in the NRA back then, they're not alive anymore. So
No, and some people still like to blame the NRA for those actions, or
well, you're a
the
white guy. You're still responsible for slavery, right?
I'm not.
I'm going by the logic of this person.
But that is the logic that the other has.
Yeah.
And even in today's modern time, NRA is bashed because of the assault weapons ban. And then you get morons that get on radio stations and talk, well, if they wouldn't have had the 1934 NFA and the 1968 Gun Control Act, we wouldn't have had the assault weapons ban. What it could have been, it don't matter. It's what we had. It was not the NRA's fault. How can you blame the NRA for the 1968 Gun Control Act when they really didn't have a lobbying arm? They didn't come. NRA ILA was formed in 1975.
Yeah, but it doesn't
1968
matter according to him, Clay. The NRA
I
passed
know.
it. That was my point by saying to Clay, you're responsible for slavery because you're white.
Yes.
So
Yep.
the people who aren't even alive that were in the NRA then are responsible for everything, every gun
Exactly.
control. That
And-
the NRA of now doesn't support that crap.
I imagine that you and me and him and probably the other host are going to end up on a show together because this
Oh, I'd love it.
has to be done. I'm
I'll
tired of hearing this crap.
Bring that shit on any day.
And
Any
he
day.
thinks, so intellectually better. You know what, you little millennial, frickin' read some history and figure it out. Anyway, my rant is over. We might actually talk about this on Friday a little bit. We'll see. I might have to just put a little jab in there.
If
Anyway,
they want to do a on air about it, I'm
all in.
I'm
all
all in,
in.
baby. Mm-hmm.
I know a lot more history about the NRA than he does.
Okay, so
We got off subject there a little bit.
that's fine. That's fine. I like it. Got your blood pumping.
Oh, I did. And
so
I'll just
speaking
add this.
of-
The NRA is not perfect. Okay. No organization is when it's
Right.
that large. But it is the 10,000 million pound gorilla in the room when it comes to legislation in the United States Congress. There is nobody better at it. And
Mhm.
yes, they do not get involved in a ton of court cases because that's not their That is not their wing.
Right.
That's
And
why you
most
have
of the
Second
stuff
Amendment
going on now is the
Foundation.
court cases.
Absolutely. And they're doing good. The groups that do that, they're doing great.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, all right.
Except,
I'll let
hey,
you know.
except up here, Clay, because legislatures, I sent you the text I got from my legislature that said, you know, the only group that's ever been up here that talks to us, gives us good information, helps pass bills, the NRA. No other
None.
representative from any gun has talked to them. They said
Nope.
they get an email blast and that's it. But the NRA actually has people on the ground here giving them information.
They do.
helping them
Brian
pass
is there
bills.
every session. And Brian's, we're going to wait till when the next session comes in. Brian said he'd be a guest with us. And I know he
Good.
will be.
Good.
I know him. He's the
Looking
lobbyist
forward
now,
to it.
unless he doesn't do it again, but I'm pretty sure he will. And he does a great job. And we had him on 1270. So, I mean, he's very
that's right.
accessible.
That was
Yes.
good. Actually, you had him on the first hour, I think, but then you called me, and that's when I first came up. For the
I
second
think you're
hour.
right. Yeah, I think I had him on.
Yeah, I think that was your
first.
first.
And
So we were talking about the president, right, Clay? But the
Yeah,
vice
the
president, she
commie.
didn't have anything to add to this, so did she?
yeah, she did. I think you've got a little bit different one than I. Why don't you read her comments? Because
Yeah.
don't have that
So
one
she
in
was
here.
at a luncheon there last week. Speaking of vice president, Kamala Cacklebox Harris,
Kami Kamala.
Kami Kamala, Queen Kamala, condemned the shootings, of course, which who doesn't, but and pointed to Clayton, Australia's gun control as the path to a better way. And if you're wondering what that is, here's what whitehouse.gov published Queen Kamala's comments. She said, gun violence has terrorized and traumatized so many of our communities in this country. And let us be clear, it does not have to be this way, as our friends in Australia have demonstrated. Clay, what is she referring to there?
She's referring to when Australia decided to confiscate pretty much everybody's guns. Then they would allow you to have certain ones like lever action shotguns.
It was after a Port Arthur mass
Port
murder
Arthur,
in,
yep.
in New South Wales in '96.
And there's one important thing to point out, though. We are the only country that has what?
Second Amendment.
Second Amendment, and that is the important part. We have a Second Amendment. No other country has a Second Amendment guaranteeing the right of the people to keep and bear arms. And it doesn't specify the arms. When they talk, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But it doesn't specify which arms we can have. It just says arms.
It doesn't say muskets and flintlocks in the Second Amendment only?
No, that's not in there.
So if you're thinking like Clay says, you got to think maybe somebody's thinking, well, I mean, personal defense, I mean, that's for sure. They could understand that. Not so much. Let me give you this little tidbit. So Australia responded to what I was talking about, this Port Arthur massacre. Their solution was straightforward and severe. It was a mandatory buyback, like a buyback. Like you guys didn't own it, you're not buying it back.
Yeah, not buying
and
it
if you
back.
don't sell it to them for whatever they tell you it's worth, then you're a freaking criminal. Throw you in jail. 650,000 privately held guns was what was mandatorily buyback.
Right. Yep.
But it's still possible, Clay, to get a gun in Australia, but only after providing a genuine reason for gun ownership. And guess what is not a genuine reason to the to the police and the whatever they call their guns are down there. Personal protection is not a genuine reason in Australia to own a gun.
Imagine that, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
That's, and by the way, Clay, did gun homicides go down? Yeah. Did homicides in general go down? No, they went up.
You know what else went up in Australia after that? Just like in Britain?
Violent crime in general.
Violent crime with knives.
Yeah. What?
That jumped. It skyrocketed. I should have pulled I don't need to, but I should have pulled the stats up. Go look them up yourself because it's true. But I can tell you right now, and now these countries, especially Britain, in fact, some parts of Europe have passed knife control because guess what? That's what the people who are criminally going to do what they were going to do and intent on it, they turn to knives after that.
Yep. So I'm going to add one more thing, Clay. We got Senator Angus King, independent of Maine. Funny how he's an independent, but he caucuses with all the Democrats all the time. Right? You're not an independent, Angus. You're a freaking leftist.
He's a leftist.
You know, weird looking dude, too, if you ever seen this. A lot of these leftists are.
all
He's
look alike.
working on an assault rifle gun control ban, Clay. He wants to roll it out. You know what he said? High capacity magazines. That's what enables a shooter in cases like this to keep shooting, which I just proved to you with statistics a little while ago and because he wants to take it down to 10 rounds, Clay.
Mhm. Imagine that.
And guess who else supports that in Maine? There's a handful of Republicans that support gun control, and Susan Collins is one of them. She supported
Imagine
she supports banning the high capacity magazines. So that's what they're going to go after. I think he's going after those. He's going after those a little more than he's going after the rifles, but don't worry, they'll bundle them in there. So
Yeah, they'll put them in there.
yeah, so he's going to roll that out here in short order. I'm quite certain. So
I was just kind of, while you're doing this, I've been looking,
Mhm.
and so in now remember, Australia has what? Pretty much total gun
Yeah.
control. They have the utopia. They have everything that the United States, the commies here would like to have, and it was supposed to solve all their problems, right?
Yep.
So 11% of all homicides. This is a CDC and the source is a Statistics Canada and CDC, the ONS, which is England and Wales, and of course the Australian Institute of Criminology. This wasn't, and this is the newest information I could find. 11% of all homicides in Australia are done with what? Guns. So that worked, didn't it?
Well, yeah, Clay, we got to ban all the guns. If you don't like that idea, go have yourself a blooming onion.
Yeah. I mean, so to me, these guys always say if it saves one life. Well, it didn't. It didn't save many, actually. It's a problem in Australia yet again. It's on the rise. Right now, I'm reading this article, and it's on the rise. Of course, I had to search for an article that wasn't biased. But yeah, I mean,
That's impossible, though, Clay. They make it so hard to get guns that it's common sense you can't get one.
oh yeah. Well, what I find interesting is with England and Wales, which is Britain, basically. They're at 4%, and they pretty much banned everything. 4%. Canada. What does Canada have? Don't they have this utopian gun control?
Oh, yeah. Trudeau's got it going on, man.
This comes right from the Canada, basically statistics in Canada, and it's just like our CDC.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think their number is?
Boy, I wouldn't even.
40% of all homicides in Canada are gun related. And
Really?
this one here throws this study that I'm kind of these guys actually took these numbers apart and they took out the suicides. And this is just killings basically, or gun related killings. 40%. And that was in 2021. So that's
got to ban them harder, tread harder, daddy.
So it just proves that no matter what you do, people that have criminal and violent intents and evil intent, guess what they're going to do? They're going to make sure it happens anyway.
Yep. And if that doesn't work, like I said, their murder rate didn't go down because they banned firearms. The homicide rate, it didn't go down. It might have went down with guns, but it didn't go down. So
But
I mean,
it
does that
didn't
make
go
you feel
down.
better? Hey, man, at least you got stabbed. You didn't get shot and you died.
I mean, yeah, that's about what they're saying. And I was just looking at this, and yeah, the homicide rates have actually increased. Kind of not as high as the United States. But you got to remember, you got to look at the population of some of these countries when they're comparing that percentage. Is that population the same as ours, under ours? So when you start doing percentages, is how they always do this.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to find that these smaller these larger countries that have way more people, yeah, the percentage with a larger population than the United States, guess what it's going to be? It's going to be lower. That's how that works.
So Clay, that we're a lot of these lefties and Dems and some of the little small group of Republicans are saying, well, Maine's got these lax gun laws and that's why this happened, right? So let's go here. Number of murders involving firearms, and the latest statistic they had was 2021. Murders involving firearms, right? Where do you think Maine? Just give me a guess, Clay. Where you think Maine is in the 50?
As far as 50 states?
Yeah, murder by firearms, because they're saying the Maine's lax gun laws are causing. That's what causes. So they should be just in a war zone, right? Like Afghanistan or something. So where do you think out of the 50 states, where does Maine rank in murders with firearms?
I don't know, maybe in that 35, 38.
You're way off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're 8th from the bottom.
Well,
they're
okay, that's what I
42nd.
was saying. So
They're 42. Okay.
I was close, 35, 30. I was going at the lower end of 50.
So North Dakota's got to be. We're a bunch of gun nut rednecks here, knuckle dragons. So we got to be way up in top, right? Right. North Dakota's 45th in murders with
45th.
Yeah. Hawaii, Wyoming's 49 even, and Wyoming's probably got more gun ownership than we do.
Oh,
I think
Wyoming's. I think
it's South Dakota's right above Maine,
Montana.
So I mean, going by the lefties' logic with lax gun laws, the bottom should be flipped to the top, other than Hawaii, right?
That's how it always is. It always has been. The country, or not the states that have the most lax gun laws are usually the safest, and they have the highest gun show, and they got the lowest rate of everything.
And
that truly, except when you go look at their cities.
Right, that's what I was going to tell you.
Cities. Yep.
You got so like they got Texas is number 1 here, but I'll guarantee you know where most of that
Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, probably even anywhere.
Fort Worth,
El Paso, down there on the border.
Yeah, I guarantee you that's what it is. Ohio, Georgia, and I guarantee you Atlanta is like way up. Most of them are Atlanta. Michigan, that's a blue state really now. There's a bunch of blue states up here in the top. Pennsylvania. I mean, it's Colorado's up there. Their narrative is they don't care though, and they have the media on their side pushing this crap, and people just eat it up, man.
Look at Washington D.C. Look at Chicago. They never talk about Chicago.
Yeah, 8 dead last weekend.
And then when you go look at Illinois, because I didn't really pay a lot of attention to it for a long time. But then go out into Illinois and look at you exclude Chicago, just Chicago, and boom, it just drops. There's not this isn't happening in the rest of the state primarily. It's Chicago. So and they have some of the toughest gun laws in the nation. In that city.
Everything you want, man.
Everything.
So Clay, we're going to take another commercial break, but before that, you know what? If you think gun control works and you don't like the NRA, you know what you are?
Nasty person.
I love that. That never gets old.
All right, let's do our double ad, Clay. We're going to come back and let's hit.
When we come back, I want to get some of these comments you've been rolling in, and then
let's do that, and then we'll hit the 2A bullet points here. So, all right, we'll be right back.
Lauer Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Guns and the 701 is sponsored by the Blind Guy of North Dakota. For all your custom window coverings, you can contact them at 701-222-3932. They're freedom-minded, they're patriotic, and they love the Second Amendment. This husband-wife team was born and raised right here in North Dakota and based out of Bismarck. Again, for your Second Amendment company, for all your custom window coverings, the Blind Guy of North Dakota, 701-222-3932, or visit them on the web at blindguynd.com. All right, welcome back, everybody. Again, thanks to our great sponsors, Lauer Auto Repair, 309 South Washington Street, 701-258-6308. Don't forget to go down there and check them guys out and get some great work done. Get your vehicle up to snuff. Hey, if you need some blinds in your deer blind, then Jamie knows how this works. Blind Guy does a great job. Check him out, Blind Guy
Yep.
ND, and just send Tammy or Wyatt a message. They'll get you hooked up, guys.
Not
Some
only
fantastic-
is there in my hunting blinds, Clay, they've done them in other blinds too.
That's right.
So,
It's a real thing.
it's a real thing, and it's good. All right, Clay, why don't
Well,
you get some
I'm
of
going
these?
to run through some of
Yeah.
these. I like this one. Josie Milbrandt puts up there. Everybody needs a high capacity assault weapon. I agree.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and I think Israel just found that out. You want to know why you need these things? Look what happened in Israel. I don't care what side you're on this, but they were attacked in the air by paragliders with full autos. So yes, you need these things.
So speaking of that, you're going to hear some more of that in one of my two-way bullet points. Clay, but go ahead.
Good. Vance Bishop says there's no such thing as an assault weapon. That's right. Isn't everything? If I take
Everything.
a baseball bat and beat your head in, I'm pretty sure that was an assault weapon.
Yep.
Eric
What's-
Newman, that was kind of when we're talking about deer. He says 20 years ago, an average deer was about 95 inches, 4x4, down in the hills. And that's probably the last time I did hard hunting down there 15, 20 years ago. He says now, I'd hold out for a 150 or 170 muley. Still a bunch of small average ones, but I feel it's a select areas of the hill. Good to hear because they were having issues down there before.
Eric, tune in Friday and we're on Mitchell in the
Yeah.
morning. You're going to like one of our topics, speaking of deer size.
We're going to have some fun, ain't we, on that? Yeah. How many were killed? This is from Axe. He says, how many were killed in Kent State by the government?
Yeah.
And guys, if you don't know what he's talking about, pick up a history book. Well, no, don't pick up a history book. Go find a real historical place. And
By Woodstock rifles, Clay.
Oh no, it couldn't have been. Had to be something. No,
308.
Exactly, 308. Doug Thompson says in here. He says, "It's the heart of the man that is corrupt. They will find a way to do harm if they want to." Absolutely, it's the person.
Yeah.
It's never the tool. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I just talked about this. I didn't see this. Israel's a good example why the government cannot take our firearms. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
because
that'll never happen here, Clay.
yeah, it'll never happen. And I can tell you this, I've heard that more than once. It'll never happen. They'll never come to my hunting rifle. Well, it's not about hunting. Never has been. Never has
No.
been.
Hunting's just a great bonus for it, man.
Absolutely. Eric Newman says, heck, God is being taken out of the churches, sadly. That's true. Not just in schools, being taken out of churches. They sugarcoat stuff so they don't hurt people's feelings. Suck it up,
Mhm.
butter. You're right.
Mhm.
I think without a moral compass, that's part of the problem. That's a big, huge part of the problem. And how many times I've got a lot of flack over single parent homes. And granted, it happens sometimes for reasons out of your control. But the idea of just going out whoring around or the man going out there and whoring around, having kids, not giving a crap, single parent home, that's not a good thing.
Hoo-ah.
You got no way to administer any kind of morality in a home like that. And that is a problem. And look what's happening. Keith O'Donnell, there's only one side of the Israeli situation. If you don't support Israel, you support terrorism. I feel the same way.
Mhm.
We've always been a supporter of Israel. And but I don't support the Ukraine thing.
As a
absolutely
side
not.
note, Israelis, Jews over in America are buying up guns left and right, baby.
Imagine that. Well,
Mhm.
they've been through this once. The Jews know what happened.
Yeah, many
Um,
times they've been through it. Now they're doing it and they're getting through it again.
Josie Milbrandt, how many of these shootings are staged by the government? You know what? I ask that every time I see something.
Some of them
anymore.
definitely.
And
I mean, there's not a doubt in my mind that some of them are.
I made the comment right away when I started here. It wasn't just the main one. Do you guys realize over that weekend there was something like 6 or 7 of these that I know of? Some of them didn't end like the government wanted, though. They were taken out by men with guns, and really nothing happened.
Still don't
Did
know
you
nothing
hear
about
about
Vegas,
them?
Clay. We don't know the end game
Well,
on that.
nothing
do we?
about that. We've actually lost a lot of details in this. They're out there, but they're sketchy and they're in. They're
It's like
they're
Kennedy
contradicting.
assassination, man. We may never know.
We might never know. And anymore, I want to know what the government was planning because it seems like we had. I told Nell right away. I said, shootings. What the heck's going on? What are they trying to cover up? What are they going to do?" And sure enough, I mean, isn't that sad? That's the first thing you think of.
I said Kennedy, by the way, a lifetime NRA member, and you can find some quotes from John Kennedy. That guy was. I mean, think what you want of him, but that guy was. He was pretty pro Second Amendment, man. He knew what the militia was, and he said it in the quote.
And speaking of Kennedy, I was cleaning the basement tonight, and I found a scrapbook my uncle put together. He's got clippings all the way from 1960 past that, all the way to when they were first. Well, they were doing the space program and launching that. And these are original articles from 61, 62, 63 when the assassination took place. I got some pretty cool stuff I found again. I thought I lost that book, and I'm so glad I found it because I love history. And that was being reported real time right then as far as it got out of papers, newspaper clippings. So that's kind of cool. Anyway. All right. So I got some comments. I absolutely agree with Josie, though. What's the government doing?
Yeah. I mean, some of these guys are trigger cells. I mean, all right. So I got a nice little meme for you from TechMan T. I'll have to send you. You'll like it about that. All right, Clay. It's just some two-way bullet points. You want to start off?
Yeah, go. I'll start off here.
All
so
right, go for
this
it,
is
buddy.
one that I can't remember. I think we did it on this show, but we might have done it on Todd's show. This is kind of an update. Basically, April 2nd, 2023, Alan Colley, he's picking up food in the Dullestown Center. You know what's sad is not sad. I know where that's at. That's not far from headquarters, honestly, there in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you right now, I've been to Dullestown Center, and that's a big complex of like little strip malls. Anyway, he says he's doing a DoorDash job, and a group of 20-something people led by YouTube prankster Tanner Cook of Classified Goons approached him. He took out his phone. He's 21 years of age, stuck it inches from Mr. Colley's face, and the phone started broadcasting the phrase, "Hey, Dips," and some other words acquainted to that. "Quit thinking about my twinkle." And this went on and on and on, and Colley claims he was becoming fearful and once again tried to leave. He tried to leave several times, tried to tell him, "Leave me alone." The group prevented him from leaving, kept harassing him. Basically, in the long run, he felt like he was really being threatened, and he shot the guy. We give all the details the last time we covered this. Well, last month, the food delivery driver was found not guilty of aggravated malicious wounding of a YouTuber in a DC suburban mall food court. I thought that was great.
I did see a video on it here. God, the guy's name's escaped me. I watch him all the time on YouTube. But he did a video. It was great. He did a whole video on. He always does. I'm trying to find this guy's name right now. If I find, I'll think of it. But he's got the fire. He's on the firearm blog here, Clayton. But he does a bunch of stuff on there. He's got his own YouTube thing. It is freaking hilarious what he did on this guy. He always throws in some. He's kind of a pretty boy looking guy, but he's definitely handy with his guns and knows what he's doing. But
what I thought was interesting about this thing is the guy, Mr. Cook. He's the actual YouTuber. He was kind of known by police and the surrounding community as being this prankster and harassing people. I mean, he went as far as he told a woman that essentially someone was following her and to watch out. And he had one of his buddies follow her and essentially stalk her in his car. That's a good way to get shot. I mean, that's the kinds of things. And then when that came up in the court case, that was one of the pieces of evidence that, look, this guy does make people feel threatened. He is basically trying to say there's harm coming on. And essentially the jury said, yeah, we agree. And they found him not guilty. So anyway, I thought I'd follow up on that. And I liked it because, you know what? If you're going to go around and go to that extent,
he was all over this guy. He was walking in his face, acting.
If you saw the video, guys,
he just pulled out the revolver and let him have a 38 round. It was great.
He did, and I'd probably do no different. Someone gets that close to me after I told them, "Leave me alone. I'm leaving," and you warned them. Then I'm going to act.
Guess what? He took off running out of there.
He took off running, and to me, that's almost a pre-happy ending, isn't it?
That is a happy ending, right
anyway,
there.
so that was one of my 2A bullet points.
Yeah, the guy who got shot, he didn't die. He actually recovered too.
Nope.
So yeah,
and he's still doing the stupid videos.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't learn his lesson. All right. So my first 2A bullet point here, Clay. It's a couple gun related things for buying new guns here. First one I got, Walther Arms has announced a promotion idea for firearm enthusiasts as the holiday shopping season is quickly approaching. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Like Walthers.
Right? Yeah, great firearms, man. I've shot a couple. Actually, I don't own any, but I've shot them.
I'd say that's one gun I don't own is a Walther.
Yeah,
that's amazing, actually.
That's your charming engineering.
I guess now I have a reason to buy one.
I think they actually just built a factory over here too. So, anyways,
I got to get one.
You purchase a new Walther PDP handgun between October 30th to December 15th, and qualifying consumers will receive 100 rounds, Clay, of
Wow.
124 grain hollow point ammunition. How sweet is that?
Heck yeah. You buy a gun and then they supply the
100
ammo.
rounds. I mean, 100 rounds is pretty good, and that's hollow point. This ain't just some cheap full metal jacket crap. Yeah.
Have some
So
fun.
the if you don't know what the PDP is Walter's top of the line when it comes to personal defense, and 7 versions are currently available, each chambered in my fave, baby, 9mm NATO, otherwise known by the meat puppet as the lung blower. It ships from the factory, ready for optic mounting, barrel lengths 4, 4.5, and 5. 2 models have threaded barrels. This is sweet right here, Clay. Magazine cap capacity is either 15 or 18, depending on the model.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, for one of my favorite gun companies, which I actually won a gun from this company.
That's right.
And you guys will know about it in the next couple of weeks here. But you can buy qualifying Ruger firearms and earn valuable Ruger rewards. Ruger rewards are redeemable exclusively at shopruger.com. You can get magazines, and Ruger Shop has tons of stuff. I own 4 or 5 Rugers. They got cool stuff. They got nice Ruger tee. Anyways, you earn them by purchasing a new Ruger American rifle, center fire only, not the rim fires, between October 1st and November 30th. So how it works is you buy a qualifying firearm, like I said, between October 1st and November 30th, enter the required information on Ruger's online form before December 15th. Look for your email from Ruger and your Ruger rewards come, and enjoy your shopping experience before March 31st, 2024. Yeah. Awesome, man. Yeah. You get a red dot and get all kinds of stuff. It's awesome.
I just saw that.
And you can actually, Clay, you can buy multiple.
Get 100 Ruger rewards, earn Ruger rewards, or redeemable. Yeah,
sweet, man. I love them. You don't
got
a
good
Ruger
IT
American,
man, right?
If you don't have a Ruger, get yourself one now, because $100 is a lot. They got a lot. Go on the shop, check it out. They got tons of gear. Clothes, magazines, like I said, optic sights. I mean, they got all kinds of stuff on there.
And remember, Ruger and Marlin are together now, too.
Yeah. I mean, you read any articles, people shooting the new Marlins, they're like, these things are, old Marlins are cool, but these things are super smooth, shoot awesome. It's good.
And yes, Sturm Ruger, we are open to sponsorships. Just get a hold of us at 701.com.
Yeah. I mean,
we're easy to find.
We'll even take those, we'll even take those cheap Ruger Americans, Clay, right?
Yeah, we'll take those. We'll make them. Yeah.
All right, Clay, you got another one?
I do. Just give me a minute here. I better stop sharing that, right? There we go. So, as we all know, there's been an ongoing battle in the courts about, the short-barreled rifles and braces and everything. So, the Ninth Circuit scrapped the established procedure by using the previous en banc panel instead of having the existing active judge when they ruled in the basically, I think that was the pistol brace deal. Well, what we have learned now is that I think the Second Amendment Foundation and the gun, they have now won their appeal, because remember, that's been going back and forth, and then they were going to implement. So right now, until this is settled, the Ninth Circuit, it's a magazine ban, sorry. But until it's settled, the injunction has been upheld in the Ninth Circuit, which is actually kind of surprising, because the Ninth Circuit is not exactly friendly to anybody. Yeah. Rush always called them the Ninth Circus, because that's what they are.
That's got to piss off old Rob Bonehead Bonta.
Oh yeah. So the 10-round magazine ban has been found. Basically, they're like, nope, we're gonna uphold the injunction, and we're gonna hear the case, and until it's settled, they're not banned. So that was just kind of a quick 2A bullet point. I'm glad to see it now. I was actually shocked that came out of the Ninth Circuit, to tell you the truth.
Not only that, Clay, I think they said in the Ninth Circuit they wanted to stop the assault weapons ban that they overturned, and I think he might have said, screw you. That's unconstitutional.
Well, yeah, and of course, I'm not going to read this whole article to you guys, but guess which case was cited? Bruen. And I keep reiterating how important the Bruen case was. And yeah, I don't care if you like Trump's mean tweets. I don't care if you like Trump. I don't care if you're even supporting him. Because of Trump's appointments on the Supreme Court, We now not just have Heller from back when that took place. We now have Bruin. Well, we've got a couple different cases. Bruin's the one that got the most press, you'd say. But that case came to our favor because of the appointments on the Supreme Court by Mr. President Trump. That's just a plain and simple fact.
Yeah.
Whether you
And
like him
who
or
is he?
not.
Who is he endorsed by? And where does he speak at their conventions?
Oh, that'd be the NRA. And the NRA was very instrumental in those appointments. They were. But you got to remember, this anti-gun group, the NRA, don't take this quote out of text either, anybody, you idiots who like to take that kind of stuff out of text. It's sarcasm. Anyway, they, for the first time in the history of the National Rifle Association, when he was running in 2016, they endorsed a primary candidate. Do you remember that?
Yep. Yeah.
Never
yeah,
had been done. Never had
Yep.
been done. Because they knew this guy. And I'll be honest, you remember me. I wasn't a Trump guy then. I was a Ted
No.
Cruz guy. And I was worried about his Second Amendment stance because he'd been on different sides. But evidently they knew more than I did because they went and endorsed him, evidently had some good talks with him. And I don't think you can find anybody. Every president has a flaw on the Second Amendment. They do.
I got a
But
text. I
he's
think
been-
our YouTube comments quit coming through.
Well, I noticed that too. We didn't get nixed there, did we? I see it's just Facebook comments coming in.
Well, let's see here. And what? Hey, blind guy, I know you're watching on YouTube. Can you still see us on there? Or did we sweat them up again and they nixed us here? Right here. No, we're still alive right
We're
here.
still
man.
alive. Well, that's
Yep.
good.
You bet.
That's good to hear. So yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
I
still.
can hear it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's on their end. I just brought it up, everybody. The last comment I see.
Oh yeah, Eric
actually on there.
commented. That
Yeah.
MVE, that might be on your end there because we got Eric still commenting on here.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So I don't know.
okay.
I'm just glad YouTube's actually got us back on because that was
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah. Well, Wyatt said we're still on. He's seeing stuff. So all right. Anyways, Clay, here's my. Remember, I said I was going to bring up Israel again here, real quick,
Yes,
and
go for it.
and our good old Uncle Joe here again.
There we
The
go.
Biden administration became upset and threatened to quit supplying rifles to Israel after photos emerged of National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, which we talked about on Todd's show,
Right.
passing them out to community security squads, according to Haaretz, which must be some
Ackerman for
news comment thing over there. News.
Yeah.
Photos of the rifles being passed out were posted on Ben-Gvir's social media and led to a diplomatic incident that threatened to stop the arms shipments from the United States to Israel. The Biden administration does not want guns passed out to civilians nor distributed during political events. Yeah, just just don't arm yourself. Let them keep getting their heads cut off and their babies
Yeah.
killed and all kinds of their women raped. That's a great idea, Joe. Just because you hate guns so much, you sick bee. Haaretz noted the Biden administration also threatened Clay to halt an order of some 20,000 rifles purchased by the National Security Ministry from American suppliers. The Telegraph reported that photos purportedly showed Ben-Gvir, which I did see the photo, he was handing them out himself, distributing the arms at political events in 2 towns near Tel Aviv. Good. He should. He
Good.
should protect his own citizens by giving them something to defend their life and their country with. Good grief. All these people are freaking unbelievable.
And I don't know if you saw it, but the I don't know who did it, who issued it. If it was the State Department or come out of Biden. Did you see that we have halted for 90 days all exports of firearms
Yeah, I did see, and ammo and everything.
and ammo? Yep. And I believe Israel and get this, I believe it was Israel and Ukraine were exempt from that.
Yeah. Well, they need to defend
Ukraine.
themselves, Clay. Except for the civilians.
Except for civilians. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys just keep getting your head diced off.
Oh, you know what that is? That's to hurt the firearms industry because
Oh,
how many? I
100%.
wonder how many billions of dollars have been disrupted by the halting
Yeah.
of all the exports.
And guess who knows where the firearms are coming from that go to those 2 countries? Joe knows.
Oh yeah.
Just these military contractors get that. Oh, just like they said they're not going to sell out of the plant there in Missouri, right? The Lake City plant. They're not going to sell Full Metal
Ammunition.
Jacket to civilians anymore.
Yeah, and that's been. I mean, I've got how many Lake City brass pieces I have.
Lake
because
City makes the best brass,
Oh
man.
my
That's the best
goodness.
stuff. It's good
Glad
stuff.
I got what I got.
I can reload Lake City far more than I can any other brass.
Absolutely. So,
All right, Clayton, you ready to do your Clay's Commie Company?
well, I suppose we probably should get to that, and I think you're gonna love it, but you won't be surprised what I have for you tonight.
Okay.
So we'll give the intro.
Okay. I tell you
Yeah.
something, what pisses me off is you capitalist pigs chambered some AKs in 223. That's not very good.
Oh, no, I need something to the Kleshnikov. I need more vodka. Anyway, this segment's going to be brought to you, of course, by Lauer Auto Repair, but Alabama Moonshine. Get yourself some now. It is good. No, anyway, I took that little thing.
Some of that when we stopped at Muscle Shoals there. Hey, nice
Oh.
airport, by the way. Kind of reminded me of North Dakota around there by looking at it, actually.
Perfect. So this particular company we've had our issues with. I'm not happy with them most of the time. I like, again, I wish that we could get a conservative based one that would work much better and easier than the ones we got. I know there's got to be somebody out there that can do it. I don't know why you can't. I mean, I realize that these companies like Fascist Book and some of these others, they lay claim to things, but you're telling me we can't come up with another one when every other company who's ever copied anybody else's stuff, they change things, and guess what? It works fine.
Mm-hmm.
Except when it comes to this stuff. But so anyway, with all ado, my commie company of the week, I bet you already know who it is.
I got a pretty good idea.
YouTube. Commie tube, as I like to call them. I used this picture, and particularly because it probably isn't copyrighted. It was an article done. I didn't want to have these assholes, sorry, that would ban us again for 2 weeks this time. So they are my commie company of the week. YouTube is just as bad as Facebook, really, as far as I'm concerned.
No, they're worse, man.
They're worse. I mean, they and I'm not gonna.
And I'm not saying Facebook is good. I want Elon Musk to trash that punk so we get some.
I'm not going to put up the picture that got us banned. That literally was a thumbnail and probably flashed for a second.
Yeah.
It shows this kid with a book open, got a cigar in his mouth, going something about tyrants. That's what got us banned, guys. I found that out. So, dumb, really dumb. And I mean, YouTube goes after a lot of the gun. They never go after the liberal ones. You can get on there and find liberal crap, never get a strike, nothing. But no, anybody talks about anything they don't like violates their community standards. So that's YouTube is my. I always call them commie tube. I call Facebook fascist tube because that's what they are. They're commies and fascists, and I got really no use for them. But what do? Everybody is tuned in there. Everybody uses them, and until there's something better, that's going to continue. I've been over on Truth Social and Gab and Getter and Rumble. Guys, Rumble. I had it working and now it's not. So I don't know, why is it so difficult for our side to have something that works very user friendly and correctly?
And hey, Clay, speaking of 308s and YouTube, I actually took a video down when I were in Florida and Tampa, and there got like almost 13,000 views. If you're curious,
I've seen that.
Looked at it. Go on Guns in the 701's Facebook page or YouTube and do it.
Yeah, well, if you go to YouTube, it's on the landing page. It's the first video there. So
it's in the shorts. It's in the shorts.
But I've got it set up so that that's the first thing they see. So
yeah, Brian, you get clipped or what? Because
we got you, Brian. Yeah, we're seeing you now.
Yeah. Hey, Jay Titans, buddy. What's up, buddy?
All right. Hey, Jay, good to see you. Just got back from buying me some more 5.56 Glory Hole Joe. Not gonna hold me back. I love that. That's outstanding.
Love that. Love it.
What's Lynette say? Lynette is on here. She says, don't be dissing my
nasty person.
Whoops. I did that by accident.
You're not a nasty person, Lynette. Just don't be dissing my vodka.
That was for YouTube.
I felt like one of these, I don't know, lack of a better term, one of these drunks or something that goes in and buys a big jug of vodka and then needs it in this paper bag. Vanilla makes vanilla, right? So she buys the vanilla beans. I didn't realize you need vodka to you put the vodka in, and then that's what
Mhm.
makes the vanilla. And it's a
I
long
didn't know that.
process.
Speaking
I didn't
of ice
either.
cream, Clay, if anybody's man, I tell you what, in Clearwater, we went out for ice cream the last night. I did not know they made pumpkin spice ice cream, but that stuff was damn near orgasmic.
Pumpkin spice.
It was delicious.
Oh,
my
I
gosh,
thought Florida
was
was
that
better than that.
good. Loved it, man. That
Really
was
should have
great.
been orange or watermelon. That's what they grow down there.
They love PSLs
Hey,
down there too.
And Axe, this is for you because I know Lynette's watching, so I imagine you are too. I called you and left you a message. We need to get in touch about the hog hunt because he's planning to go, and we'll figure out some days so that I want you to go. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I don't want you to miss out on that trip. So anyway, make sure we get in touch. I just want.
Speaking of Axe, do we get his last ad in?
No, I think we should take one last
All right,
time
here
out.
we go. Main
you go.
sponsor right here. Great place, great guy, awesome sponsor, sweet gun range too.
Lauer Auto Repair. They're located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota, or give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can tackle any problem your vehicle is having, and when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with the Pro Second Amendment America First Repair Shop. There's plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area, but why take the chance of patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake, Lauer Auto is your Pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them you heard they're a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our Pro Second Amendment, Pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308, located at 309 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota.
Right, number one, right? Number
That's
one.
right. That's right.
Lauer Auto Repair.
Number one gun podcast in North Dakota, according to Todd Mitchell and iHeart.
That's right. It is not anybody else. Guns in the 701.
That's right,
So,
baby.
anyway, I'm going to put this quick out here. Lynette says, he goes, Elon Musk wants to fight the Facebook guy for X and YouTube. The guy will not. He even banged.
Yeah, I was talking
we
about
talked
that
about
beginning
that.
of the show.
Yep.
Yeah, Elon Musk went over there, and Joe Rogan said you need to train. He goes, I don't need to train. Let's do
Absolutely.
it tomorrow. We'll beat his
So,
ass.
Quick like, we want to cover the poll quick like before we do the happy ending?
Hey,
Or should we wait till Friday?
I don't know that it was much different than it was Friday, was it?
No, probably not. But I do have the numbers broke down. I'll throw it up here quickly.
All right, do it quick.
I got it ready, so I'll throw the poll up here. We asked, what is your deer bullet of choice? 51% say ballistic tip.
Yeah, baby.
31 votes. 40% was the soft point. That's 25 votes. Then you get 4% was hollow point with 2 votes, and everything is a deer bullet had 3 votes. So I suppose it was 4 point something there. And then full metal jacket for 1%. And who do you think that was?
That was a guy out of Washington. He's used someone here sometimes named Travis.
Travis, that's right. I specifically put
Yeah.
him down.
He's an A-gay 47 guy. So
I like that.
what? What do you mean? What?
And then Eric's chiming in. He says 6.5 in pumpkin spice man bun, Florida Georgia line.
Oh man, I like
Yeah.
me some Florida Georgia line, man. I see them in
Oh.
concert even. Oh
Vegas?
yeah,
So anyway, well, I'll probably get nixed now. Damn it. Can't
I didn't
stand
hear
it.
it. So
The only thing I like about Florida Georgia line is when I cross it and I'm heading down the hog hunting camp.
you know what? I never heard them down there one time.
That's because no one likes them.
Never heard any Florida Georgia line.
I'm gonna break it to you, Jamie. They suck.
Man, I'm telling you what, the concert here, they were sold out. It was rocking in there.
Yeah, but they were way up here when nobody knew them. See, down there they can't even sell out. I gotta
Their
get
bank accounts tend to differ.
that. It does. Auto tone has worked great for them. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm
so-
not. Yeah. All right. So I'll tell you what. Here's what's coming up right now. That's right,
think
baby.
we're ever
Happy
gonna-
ending of the week.
I
Love
don't
it.
think we're ever gonna change that.
No, never. No. All right, so here we go. Coming from the city of brotherly love, baby.
Mm.
By
We've
Robert.
been there before.
Yeah, I've never been there. I don't.
No, I
ever
mean
plan-
our happy ending has come from
yeah.
there before.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. For all the gun control they got going on there, and Their football team sucks. I don't care what their record is. The Cowboys are playing them Sunday. Believe. Come on, Dallas. Do this for me, baby. Jamie, where's the Florida town? Everybody thinks I'm tan all the time. I'm like,
I'm never
I didn't.
tan.
I don't know. I don't think I could get any more tan really
I
from
mean,
this summer.
If I wear shorts and walk into the water, the fish come up to
I
it.
got
bright.
Clay scares them off. They think a little nuke went off and they go deep.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. A robber in Southwest Philadelphia was shot and killed Wednesday as he was taking money from a convenience store register and stuffing it into his greedy little pockets. Head Topics reported that the robber, a 28-year-old male with a firearm, entered Happy Day Food Market around 10:30 p.m., walked behind the counter, and began taking cash from the register. The robber was wearing gloves and a mask that covered part of his face. CBS News Philly noted that a store employee in his 20s drew his own gun and opened fire, striking the robber multiple times. Nice shooting, buddy. The robber was pronounced dead 15 minutes after entering the store. Perfect. Happy ending. Makes me smile. Police Chief Inspector Scott Small said, "You can clearly see that there's money on the scene, and you can clearly see that at least one of the robber's pockets is stuffed with money." The store clerk, facing no charges, should have given him a hero's parade in Philly for doing everybody a favor.
Absolutely. Happy day. Oh, here we go. I think I found it, didn't I? Oh, don't come on.
MFGL.
Here, I
for
thought
me,
I
or
had.
what?
Oh, I thought I had the old Happy Day song, but I don't have it good enough, so it ain't gonna come through. Thought I'd have.
Oh,
I thought I'd be quick on the draw, but I was wrong. Anyway,
you know,
all right.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I guess let's plug a little bit of stuff here. Again, Friday at 8:15 Central Time, 7:15 Mountain. We will be joining Todd Mitchell on Mitchell in the Morning, KFYR 550 AM radio. You don't want to miss it. And with that, when you got the advertisements in there, and everything, we still come out around 26 minutes. So yeah, I'm glad we have that segment. And tune in, guys. We're gonna have some fun on there. I know we're gonna probably be covering what we were talking about with deer season.
Yeah, not only that, Clay, if you don't like AM and you get good reception up 99.7, and if that doesn't work and you're down in Georgia or you're in California and you still like listening to Guns in the 701 and Mitchell in the Morning, iHeartRadio, you can get 550 on there.
And I do live stream it every single Friday, but I'm going to try to meet up, or I'm going to try to get Todd on here tomorrow and see if we can't get that worked out, because he's all willing to do it, and we'll bring Todd, us, right onto our stream, just like we are doing tonight.
And Clay, if you missed the live show, you can catch it on our website, on Facebook, on YouTube, and of course Todd's got it on the KFR Cafe on iHeart. You can listen to it on there. I'll post the link on our Facebook page for it.
Yeah, and on iHeart, it's both on KFire Cafe and on our Guns and 701.
I actually looked at the podcast downloads you've been putting that on, man. It's
up there, isn't it?
Yeah, we're getting some good podcasts, and Todd's getting. 180. Todd told us he's getting a lot of stream views on it when we're on there, so that's awesome. Hey, man, let everybody know. Clay and I love going on there. It's fun.
I've noticed one thing. We got some little crossover, but we got a lot of people that just tune into that Friday segment now.
Yeah.
They don't really watch the live stream here. They might download it, but for the most part, they like that, basically 30
Like I said, when I'm up in Mercer County and Zap and Golden Valley, a lot of people, that's most of the people I talk to. Hey, man, I heard you on this. Freaking awesome. I sold a lot of gear to guys and gals up there. I appreciate you guys listening. Should be fun. And after this Friday, next Friday, Clay, I'm going to do it. And right after that, heading out for deer opener. And that Friday after that, man, I'm going to have to do it from the hunting shack. So,
well, I will be, as Trampas pointed out, I will be in Fargo, the opening of deer season. So we're leaving Thursday night, I believe. So I'll be in Fargo, North Dakota, unfortunately, on Friday morning. So I'll be calling in from there. But
hey, maybe Joel will let you use his mic down there.
Oh, that would be funny, but I doubt it.
Yeah. So coming up Friday, Clay was talking about, we were both kind of referenced the deer thing. We're going to be talking about, are you choosy when you have a buck tag, right, Clay? And by that, we mean, do you just shoot one, or do you hold out and wait, or you look for a mature one? I got a strong opinion on this, and so does Clay.
Basically, what drives your motivation as to what you're going to harvest?
Yeah.
And I kind of, when we were talking about this, I threw something out to Jamie. Said, I never thought of that, and
Yeah.
it kind of, I mean,
That
it
was
holds
good.
true.
It's going to be good.
So
You have to.
we'll talk about it on Friday. I'll tell
Yeah,
everybody about it on Friday.
and I tell you what, Clay, I found something. I was listening to a AR-15 podcast. One of these guys, is from
Another
South
good
Dakota.
one.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's kind of a monotone dude, but he knows a lot of good stuff, and they have a lot of good guests. But
Oh, hey, just I got.
he's a huge dude. I'd never say that to his face.
Well, that
but-
says Todd even brought you up on the cafe this afternoon. Really? I didn't hear
Really?
that.
Wow.
I was busy cleaning the basement, getting ready.
What
for
was
cooking
that,
up meat.
Lynette? I missed
Yeah.
that one. I was listening to most of it too. Even though Clay and I gave Cody a lot of guff, I'd still listen to their show there.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
what they do, your outdoors and your BB gun outdoors, your BB gun topics, I think it's called. But yeah.
I'd like to, now I'm going to have to go listen to their podcast.
Yeah.
And see what that was about.
But anyways, it's saying AR-15 new cartridge coming out for it. Looks pretty sweet. I think we're going
Oh.
to cover that, and the other topic we're only going to cover 3 because Clay and I talked over about this deer thing.
Yep.
I think that's going to take up pretty much the whole, the last
part of
20
it.
minutes we got there because
Because there's
I
a
think
lot there. There really
Yeah.
is.
there is a lot there, and
Oh, yesterday I got asked. I was in Bismarck yesterday, as you know. I was at Torgenson Auto Center and helping my nephew look at vehicles.
Yeah.
We did find him one. By the way, guys, if you're any of you listening, I know a lot of you said you're gonna. I sparked their interest, so I hope they're listening tonight. Great service, and I said we don't get any sponsorship or anything from them, but I can tell you right now, I'll be back there. They did a great job, and the service was fantastic. And we were all over it, yesterday to all the dealerships. You know what? The main 3, they can kind of freaking pound it, man. If you want to sell something, honestly, you probably just should have a good attitude and maybe kiss the person's ass a little bit, just a little. You might get a sale. I just don't understand that. But anyway, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how things come out there with them guys as far as what we did yesterday. And Torgerson, I just want to give a quick plug to Torgerson.
good. There you go. You guys got yourself a nice vehicle, and you got us a subscription too.
We did, and I can tell you right now, that is a nice outfit. I had a hard time. I usually go in there when I'm looking for a used vehicle, and I can find every little thing on. There was nothing to find on it, which is a good thing, I guess.
Right.
So yeah, I really highly recommend going there. And guys, them guys in there, they're hunters and shooters. So you're doing business with some good guys. I think as I get to know these guys a little better, because we're staying in touch, I hope to bring them on as a sponsor. That's my goal.
That'd be awesome, man. Love it.
Just think, you can buy a vehicle there, get it serviced at Lauer Auto, and then have some blinds put in it.
Right. Perfect. Perfect. Your mobile hunting blind. They have
There you go.
those.
Perfect.
White's and Master are working on them.
He is. He is.
All right, Clay. You got anything else here before we close it out?
No, I wish everybody
I thought
very
you were
good
doing
hunting
something on here, church thing or something on Sunday.
Oh, I am. Sunday I'll be, but I'm not going live as far as on our stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to be using the platform. We'll be going actually to St. If you want to tune in, it'll be on St. Luke's church services. So just look up St. Luke's Lutheran Church in Lemon, South Dakota on Facebook. And they have a Facebook page. We're going to try to live stream that to them. It's our mission festival on Sunday. We got Bruce Nauman, Pastor Bruce Nauman from Tanzania. I did a deal with him today on there, him and our pastor in Lemon and then one of the church council members. I'm telling you what, guys, that was kind of, I don't know, it's kind of neat thinking you're talking to someone in Tanzania, literally halfway across the country. And we had a great little discussion on what we're going to do there. So, yeah, if you want to tune in that Facebook page, go for it. And check it out because he's got some great stuff.
Got a texture from the blind guy. We do campers.
I have a camper that needs new blinds.
Hey, as a matter of fact, I do have blind guy blinds in my camper.
I don't, and then the blinds that are in there that came with it suck. So Wyatt,
So do mine.
So here's the deal then. Jamie and Wyatt, and maybe get Axe, and who knows, Marty will join. We need to come down. Maybe there's some cornfield. We could run some coons. And we could hunt some coyotes. And if it's a nice enough day, we'll drill some prairie dogs.
Yeah.
And he can measure up blinds for my camper.
Man, that sounds like a great
sounds like
day
a
to me.
day,
That
don't
sounds
it?
like a great day to me.
But you got to give me the bro deal, damn it.
Yeah.
I'm a tight ass.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why you got a good deal on that car too.
Actually, if Wyatt likes beef, maybe we can do some trading.
Yeah. Oh, does he like
Uh,
beef? Come on, man. You know that guy think he eats it every day.
And that's what we're doing. We're going to be cutting up meat this weekend. So I'm occupied this weekend. But and the next weekend after that, I'll be in Fargo for the State Farm Bureau meeting. And then I think I'm free a little bit. But then Thanksgiving's coming up somewhere in there. I don't know
State
how far
Farm.
off that is.
Oh, hey, when's that?
That's the second weekend in November. So what is it, 17th?
So you got to do the show on a Friday?
Oh, I'll do it. I'm probably going to take my computer with me.
Okay, well, maybe you can get on your BB Guns host and have him on as a guest.
Well, I'm going to give him some crap already.
Yeah,
and
is
you
it
know what
BB
that's
guns
about.
Or Court Guns or Squirt Guns. What's the name of their new program?
Fake news.
Comes on after you're outdoors.
Fake news, fake gun news.
Hey, Daryl, come on, baby. Let's do it.
These are the experts here. That's just the way it is. It's the 17th through the 19th is we'll be coming home on
All right.
Sunday. So yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
That's the plan anyway. And we're going to have our farm bureau from our county. We're going to have all 3 delegates that we're allowed to have on the floor. I haven't had that for a couple of years, so it's kind of nice to see some. Trampas will be joining us, and then I believe Jody's going with us. So yeah, I think we're gonna have a good time up there. And
then former guest you had on, right, from New Mexico, she's gonna speak there, or was that the one out?
No, that was here last weekend.
Okay, how'd that go?
I didn't make it, unfortunately. It went well, from what I understand, and I thought she was. I tell you what, a lot of people actually contacted me. Said that was just a great person to have on when I had her on that Wednesday. It wasn't Second Amendment based primarily, but it was related in the fact that I really wanted her to talk about, and she did.
I just why they'll get their ARs when they're coming across.
As you and me both. Fast and Furious, maybe.
You know what I'm going to do? You know what we got to start doing too, Clay, when we get off Todd's show, because was Trent Luce say drink some milk and eat some beef.
I thought Scott says that. Actually.
Yeah, Scott says that too. I think we're gonna start saying do some hunting and shoot some guns when we end our shows here.
Buy a gun, do some shooting, and go hunting. Take a kid hunting, take them fishing, have some fun. There you go.
And keep your powder dry.
Keep your powder dry every time. But speaking of that, before we go, I guess I got to do this shameless plug. We still have a handful of these tickets left on our Odd Six. That's our Farm Bureau raffle. They're $20. Basically, we'll draw December 31st if we don't sell out. I'm taking the remainder of them with me. I think we got like 40 tickets left. I'm taking them to the state convention on that weekend of the 17th. Probably be able to sell them out there. So, but I'm not going to draw it up there. I'll wait till we get back home, and I don't know how we'll do it. I'll get together with the board, and if we're able to live stream it to something, we will. Maybe I'll live stream it here right on Guns of the 701 because I'd like to have a record of basically showing us drawing it. I want everybody to know that it was fair and legit.
No home cooking.
What's that?
No home cooking. See, you can prove it.
That's right. Absolutely.
Hey, he put his hand below the table. You
cheated. And for everybody, for transparency, yes, I do have a ticket in there.
Hey, by the way, Clay, you're coming up next week too, right? You said.
Be up there on the 7th. Yeah.
Bring those tickets back because I just remembered Big R.
Yeah,
gave me $20 for one of them tickets, and I never did pull one off.
Well, that deal that I forgot yesterday. Was there any left in there, or them were sold out?
No, they're all done.
Okay.
That was Waylon. Waylon took care of that.
Thank you, Waylon. Oh my gosh,
Waylon's he's a raffle ticket selling maniac.
Absolutely.
That guy.
We had a lot of help this year. I gotta give a shout out to Pam Dix because she's one of our board members' wives. She sold a bunch of tickets. Waylon sold a bunch of tickets. We actually had a lot of people out there. So David Fetting, he's an on tonight, but he sold a lot of tickets.
He's on the road. Tickets. He sent me a Snapchat. Okay. He was out.
So I mean, thank you. We had a lot of great guys out there selling tickets, other than people that were part of our Farm Bureau. So yeah, appreciate that.
I actually next year. I funneled a guy towards Dave. He texted me about who should I use for an FFL. So hopefully,
and Dave's a great one. And by the way, Mandan Sporting Goods, you decided you're going to put your gun that you're getting from Ruger there. And I did not get a chance to stop in there yesterday, but I plan to stop in there on the 7th. And I need a couple boxes of ammo. I thought I'd visit with Brandon a little bit and just see how things are going. So
yeah, It's
Like
so
to
it
bring
should
him
be
back as a
there.
sponsor.
Like I told you, I forgot to hit send on the affidavit I needed to send them. I did, so now it's yeah, I messed up on that, but luckily Ruger didn't say you'd missed the deadline, and they were giving it to somebody else. They're still sending me my gun, and you'll see a picture of it. And then I told Ruger I'd give him a little pimping on the live stream when we get on Todd's show, so that'll be fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that, guys, we're going to call it an evening. Thanks for hanging in there. We had pretty good response this evening, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So tune in Friday morning.
Yeah, and Clay, 7:15 Mountain, 8:15 Central, Mitchell in the morning, KFYR 550 AM, 99.7 FM, and iHeartRadio. And if you don't want to do that, you can catch us right here on Facebook and on YouTube doing the simulcast, running our sponsors on the bottom of the screen, baby. Appreciate that. And
Yes,
guess what,
absolutely.
Clay? Like we just said, hey, do some hunting, shoot some guns.
Shoot some guns, and keep your powder dry. Catch you guys on Friday and next Wednesday.